The government in Bolivia forced a Catholic teachers college to close, and now the country's bishops' conference is responding. The college, shown here, was closed by the state back in 2010. It was part of an effort to nationalize the training of teachers. The Bolivian government also banned the creation of any future private schools offering degrees in teaching. Joining us tonight with more on this is Tomas Henriquez, Director of Advocacy for Latin America with the Alliance Defending Freedom. Tomas, great to have you with us. A lot to get to. But first, it's been nearly 13 years since the college closed. So why are the Bolivian bishops pushing back now? What prompted the lawsuit?
Well, there had always been discussion and knowledge on their part that this was unlawful, that this was unfair at a fundamental level, and that they needed to fight back. They did try to fight back politically when the law was first being discussed and passed. But there was a gap of a few years before they actually started seeing the effects of what happened to their own schools after the government ended up closing the teachers' college. And so the Conference of Bishops unified around this issue, especially in the general context of education in Bolivia, with the government being very aggressive in trying to eradicate the influence of the Catholic Church in education, and also in imposing educational contents with which the Catholic Church does not agree. So it just made sense for them at this point in time to reassert themselves and fight back for their right to be able to operate their teachers' college.
Yeah, so why exactly did the government force the college to close its doors? I mean, what was the actual rationale they gave?
Well, they asserted that, in their view, it's the supreme function, and I'm quoting here from the Constitution of Bolivia, it is the supreme function of the state to take care of education, to give education. And it is also part of their supreme function to train teachers. Now, you can read in between the line here, with understanding of what the political view of the current administration in Bolivia is. There is an attempt to monopolize teachers' education as part of a broader plan of having full control of education, which is not very different from the game plan that many other governments over time have exhibited on this specific issue. They know that the key to the future is the youth, and those that are in school today will be controlling what happens tomorrow. So they quite obviously decided to take control of this part of education, while at the same time influencing or imposing the national curriculum.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we only have about a minute left or so, but we're not only seeing this in Bolivia. We actually saw this, or are seeing this in Nicaragua. Last week, President Daniel Ortega shut down several universities, including John Paul II University. Tomas, how concerned are you about all this, and what do you think this signals?
It is very concerning, and it's especially concerning in Nicaragua because there is no rule of law, unfortunately, over there. There's very little option to actually have international organizations or tribunals to enforce the law in a place like Nicaragua. But what has happened there is an egregious violation of fundamental human rights, and specifically the right of the Catholic Church and all bodies to be able to operate their own educational institutions. There is no excuse for what the Nicaraguan government is doing over here. And this doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, it's always grave. And we hope to stop it in Bolivia so that it doesn't give any ideas to other governments around the region.
Well, Tomas, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate we following this case.
Thank you very much.